Hello and welcome to Learn with Swasti. We are doing the social science from paper 2 from the 7th July 2024 paper. This is set K. And if these videos have been helpful, do put in a like or a comment. Let's begin. So the government has passed laws and made it mandatory for organizations with more than dash number of women employees. So you have 30 number of women employees. If you have more than 30, you have to have a creche. The Indian National Congress in the early years, so we are talking about the moderates, what did they do? Choose the correct option. So they declared that the British rule had led to poverty and famines. Yes, they even wrote a book, Dadabhai Nauroji's British and the un poverty rule in India. So that was there. It demanded reduction in the revenue and military expenditure, and they wanted more funds for irrigation. It did not talk about entertainment tax. So only 1, 2, and 3 will be correct. Match the following. So this is very simple. Lithosphere is to do with rocks. Hydrosphere is to do with water. Atmosphere is to do with air. And biosphere is where your plant and animal meet. So as per that, you have A is 2. A is 2. There's only one with that same thing. So we could have got it easily. Which of the following is true about Ashoka's Dharma? So it did not involve worship of God. This is correct. It did not involve performance of a sacrifice. Correct. Ideas of it was inspired by Buddha. He appointed Buddhist monks to teach people. No, he appointed Dharma heads. Not Buddhist monks. So D is not there. So if you cut out D, for A, B, and C are correct. Below are two statements in the context of leather workers. So during the First World War, there was a huge demand. True. The poor people from ordinary castes. So this is the incorrect statement. It was the untouchables or those who worked with the leather uh, industry. So the Madigas mainly. So this is where it's coming from. So A is true, B is false would be the correct answer. The Mughal revenue system is called the Zabt. Zat is that rank they got. Ikta and Jagir were land which was given to them, and Zapt is the revenue. The rocks that were formed 300 million years after the Earth was formed. So this is located in Western Australia, and these are the oldest rocks on Earth. Okay, match the following in column 1. Stereotype. So girls are good at cooking would be stereotype. Where do we have C with 4? C with 4. There's only one with C with 4. So this should be the answer. So, but still, let's check. A is 3. Discrimination is women are not allowed to be hired. Okay, you're discriminating. This is correct. Inequality is when you're giving different pay for the same amount of work. Prejudice is when you say villagers are superstitious. But if you had just got any one of them, because C did not have any different options, so we could have got any one and got it. Which of the following are correctly matched? So tea requires high rainfall and warm climate. This is correct. Coffee doesn't require cool and dry climate. They require a cooler climate. But so only option B is correct. The erstwhile princely state. So this is from the NCRT, which was pretty old. But erstwhile princely states lasted from independence up to 1956. After that, they got assimilated into India. So the correct answer is between, they were applicable between 1947-48 and up to 56. Okay, match the following. Again, Barigaza is the old name for Bharuch. So let's say where A is 2. A is 2 at 2 places. So these two are cancelled out. Shrenis are your association of people. So B4 again at both places. So the Aretine ware is your stamped red glazed wood. So C1. So option 3 will be correct. C1 and D is Grihapatis are independent farmers. 42. Archaeologists play an important role in deciphering history. Which one of the following choices is incorrect? So, looking for bones of animals, birds, and fish, this will be incorrect. They do examine written records, they study the remains of buildings, paintings, sculptures, and they also explore and excavate tools, weapons, pots, pans, etc. So, looking for bones of animals, birds, they don't go around looking for bones of animal, birds, and fish. The opening time of a central government office in India is 9 a.m. IST. What will be the local time of opening? Local time they want at 80 degrees east and 92.45. So this is 82.5 degrees is our IST. Here at 80 degrees, let's see, 80 degrees east is 2.5. So for each minute, it is for each degree, it is 4 minutes. So 2 degrees is 8 minutes, 2.5 degrees is 10 minutes. So the first one is opening at 8:50 a.m. 8:50 a.m. has only one option. This is the correct one. Similarly, you will find that the other one will be 9:41, I guess. You don't have to calculate. This is clear enough. Women were taught at home in the 19th century because they could study and do domestic duties, yes, and they believed that going out in public places would corrupt them. So they wanted to hide the fact. No, they didn't want to hide. Women were being educated, but as long as it was being done at home. So only A and B. Which of the following is not correct for Gram Bhojak? He used to collect taxes. He did not function. So this is wrong. He used to function as a judge and policeman, and it was a position which was held for generations, and he had slaves and hired workers. So what is wrong? He did not function as a judge and policeman. This is wrong. 46 below are two statements in the context of Sri Narayan Guru. He advocated equality of all within a single sect or caste. Yes, so he talked about that Oru Matam, Oru Jati. He inspired all of them to have faith in all gurus. I don't think he didn't speak about gurus at all. So A is right, B is false. Match the following pairs and choose the appropriate option. So igneous rocks are the ones which come out from magma. Anything with A2, A2, there's only one. So this would have been the answer. But sedimentary rocks are deposited, B3, and metamorphic rocks, they are changed due to heat and pressure. So option 4. Which layer of the atmosphere has very thin air? So it will be the last layer, which is the exosphere. A population pyramid, this is a population pyramid with a big base and a skinny top. Okay, so these are your young children, 5 to 10 years, it goes on like that. And these are the older people at the top. So it has high birth rate, yes. High death rate, yeah, they are dying because so it's thinner at the top. Relatively large number of younger population, yes, as compared to older. So this is correct. Large number of deaths of infants. No, infants are not dying. So D is not there. So cancel D, cancel D. So A, B, and C. Consider the following sentences A and B about the motion of the earth. Okay, rotation is the movement of the earth on its axis. This is correct. The axis is an imaginary line. It makes an angle. Okay, it makes an angle of 66.5 degrees with the orbital plane. So this is the orbital plane, and this is the axis of the earth. So this degree, this is 66.5 degrees, not 33.5. So which means A is correct, and only A is correct. Which of the following statement are true about technological development in temple in the 12th century? So weight of the superstructure was carried by the shikhar. So not the shikhar, by the arches. This was called mihrabs. Sandstone mixed with stone chips was increasingly used. Yes, so this is true. So A is wrong and B is true. Correct, correct. So only B is correct. Who among the following edited the newspaper Kesari? So Kesari is Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Which of the following statements are correct about Amazon basin? Okay. Hot and wet. So A is everywhere. So A is not here. This is out. People practice slash and burn agriculture in Amazon basin and they grow paddy. So one of the two has to be correct. Aircrafts and helicopters are used. So A and D has to be there in the options. So we can cancel this out. So whether it is A, C, D or A, B and D. Slash and burn, I have not heard of slash and burn in Amazon. So I'm going to go with paddy, mainly paddy. Mainly paddy. I think they are into cassava and all those tapiocas and stuff. But I'll still go with A, C and A, C and so this I'll cancel. I'll go with A, B and D. Slash and burn, I've not. So I'm really not sure. I've not heard of a slash and burn, but paddy also they don't seem to be going with. So if I had to choose, I will basically go with A, C and D. I will go with this. Let's see what CTET says. So in a physical map of India, so a plateau is shown with yellow because there are certain colors like blue is for water, green is for forest, brown is for mountains. So a plateau is yellow in color. Choose the measures to control soil erosion and depletion. So overgrazing will not be there. So B will not be there, B will not be there. So answers are A, C and D, which is mulching, terrace farming and intercropping. So you didn't have to go through it. As long as your options are there, you can choose it out. Who coined the phrase unity in diversity? This was done by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. Consider the statements A and B about paramountcy. Paramountcy, they declaimed that its authority was not supreme. So no, they said it was supreme. In order to protect the company's interest, it was justified in annexing or threatening to annex. So B is correct. So A is false, B is correct. Consider the following statements about Ladakh. Okay, Ladakh. Several rivers flow through Ladakh. This is true. High altitude, the climate is very cold. Yes. Despite there is high rainfall, no. Ladakh is a desert, so there's no rainfall. So C is wrong. Let's see where all C is. You can cut this out. C is. So you have to choose between this. The area experiences freezing winters and burning hot sunlight. So yes, this is true. So A, B, D. A, B, D are correct. Consider the two statements A and R and choose the appropriate portion. Okay, those places west of Greenwich will be behind. Okay, yeah, this is Greenwich. So if they are west, they will be behind time. So this is correct. The Earth rotates from west to east. So E is R is wrong, A is true, R is false. Watan Jagis were given by Akbar. So it was given to the Sashodhya Rajputs. Earlier they were not accepting, but then they catapulted and he gave them a lot of respect and gave them back their land. So that was the Watan Jagis to the Shishodhya Rajputs. A well-designed portfolio assessment in social science would be, it would be purposeful and systematic, regular assignments and activities, yes, mainly of report card preparation. So C you cancel, C you cancel, C you cancel, you got your answer. Accumulation of students' work over a long period of time will also be there. So elimination method works very, very well. The moment you get one wrong answer, just see whether you can eliminate it from the answers. Project method in social science will involve, okay, so it will not involve narration. So cut out D, D, okay. So now we have to go with whether it's A and B only or A, B and C. So it will have, it can have an activity, it can have an experiment, it can have discussion. So let's go with A, B and C. Consider the following statements and choose the correct option. Investment in non-farm activities in rural areas can reduce the rural-urban migration. This is correct. Migration increases during a particular season when there are no agricultural activities. This is also correct and the correct explanation. So both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Which of the following question assesses the analytical aspects of cognitive process? Analytical. So let's see if there's any question which has information based. In how many regional languages and local dialects Vivid Bharati? So in how many? So C will not be there. C will not be there. C. There you have your answer. It is A, B and D only. So again, what is Baruz, in which region is this popular? This is also will not be there. So A, B, and D will be your correct answer. Assertion and reason statements. Okay, choose. Students should be encouraged to ask questions in the classroom. Absolutely. It will help the introvert students also to open up. Correct. So both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Next question, which of the following may be acquired by learners in a project work that involves engaging students in authentic real world problem solving tasks? It's not improvement of content knowledge. I mean, everything may happen. Creativity and all this will not. I think we'll talk about it, will develop critical thinking skills. This will be the best answer. Uh, it will promote everything, but of this, uh, when they're doing authentic work and you are doing real world problems, then critical thinking skills will improve. So I think that should be the correct answer for 66. Again, I'll keep this on hold and see what CTET says. The ideas of liberty, equality, fraternity, they are borrowed from the French Revolution. Those were the three main, the tag words of French Revolution. Which of the following are essential elements of a fair trial? Okay, it has to be held in an open court. Generally, a fair trial is held in an open court. The copy charge of all other evidence has to be given. The defense lawyer is not allowed to cross examine. So this will not be there. So cut out C, cut out C, cut out C. You already have your answer, only A, B, and D. D is where judges decide the matter on the basis of statements articulated by the lawyers. 69. Which of the following techniques is most effective to assess individual performance? So for individual performance, rubrics and portfolio has to be there. So where do we have A and D? Okay, A and D. Okay. Rubrics and portfolios are best for individual performance. Which region in India has the highest concentration of Adivasis? So we know in the east of India, where Jharkhand, Orissa, West Bengal, in northeast. So east of India will be the one. Which one of the following statements is accurate, reflecting the concept of plurality? Plurality is so inclusion of multiple perspectives and diverse viewpoints, not the dominance of a single ideology, not complex language, and no exclusion. So inclusion is what we will take. Consider the statements A and B and choose the correct option. Natural sciences are superior to social sciences and the domain. So this by itself is wrong. So A is false. So we don't even have to read A is false, but B is true, because only way A is false is when B is true. Otherwise, in everything else, A is true. See, A is true here, A is true here. Okay, B also could be false. Let's read. The social sciences are essential to provide social, cultural, and analytical skills required to. So, yeah, B is true. So, my bad. 73. Involving teachers is considered important in the development of social science assessments framework. Why? So let's see, saving time, labor will not come. Wherever is C, we will cut that out. Okay, only one place. Integrate contemporary events will help. Yes. Make curriculum only subject centered. So B will not be there. C will not be there. Make necessary changes according to the level of teachers by using the. So this can also be there. So A and D, we will go with A and D. 74. Consider the following statements, assertion and reason. The social sciences have developed their own distinct methods for dealing with facts in an objective and systematic way. This is correct. Unlike the natural sciences, in social science, it is difficult to insulate the observations and analysis from the pressures of popular sentiment. So this is also correct. So both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Which of the following may be used to denote a democracy? Okay, this is a question I had. I'm not happy with the answer. I think, see, the option B is there in everything. So, which means B has to be kind of the answer, which is people are wealthy and prosperous. So, I don't think people are wealthy and prosperous is uh, denoting democracy. So, they should be equal and free. Government has to be accountable, and A, C, and D. So I would have gone with A, C, and D, but that option does not exist. So this is a question which I think we are going to get free marks for this. Question 26, appropriate options. So whenever we are discussing, let's see one which we definitely know. So sensitivity towards differently abled, showing concern, all this will come under normative concerns wherever we are being concerned. So C with one, C1, there are two of them. Okay. So anything else that we know, we can check. D, explanation is explanation. When we are explaining, we are making logical connections. So D has to be 2. So that makes 3 the answer. Let's just see these two whether they're correct. So A is 4. Discussion is listening, expressing opinions, finding out from others. So this is discussion. Okay, makes sense. Whereas observation will be 3. So observation is reporting, narrating, picture reading, drawing. Okay, all that could be observation. So the correct answer will be, because we know C has to be 1 and D has to be uh, 2. So we go by that. Lata sells tea at 5 a.m. Okay, this is a very old question. She goes to water. She fetches water from very far. She basically does a lot of work. So this is called the double burden of uh, of a woman, where she has to not only sell, make money sometimes, like here she is doing that, but even then she is still doing all the household work. 78, the constitution determines the relationship among people living in a territory who are called citizens, and also, so it is the relationship between the people and the government, not neighboring countries. Neighboring countries don't come, and not corporate. So our relationship with our government is determined by the constitution. The National Medical Commissioner's Code of Medical Ethics states that every physician should, as far as possible, prescribe drugs. So we want generic medicines because they are cheaper and better. 80, a large number of people in rural India who are landless, although their main livelihood source is agriculture. So they are called agricultural laborers. So C has to be there. They are not small farmers, they are not marginal farmers. So B and C, B and C, B and C. Yeah. Which of the following resources are relevant to discuss the theme discrimination? So this is B.R. Ambedkar's experience when he was looking for a place to stay. Advertisement of a woman washing, nothing to do with discrimination. Ashokan inscription doesn't have discrimination. And Universal Declaration of Human Rights doesn't really talk about discrimination. So we'll go with Dr. Ambedkar's narrative. 82, a teacher wants to divide 30 students in small groups for a task on diversity, which is the most relevant way. So you want heterogeneous and random groups. You don't want as per students' comfort, bench wise, or marks. So heterogeneous means different people. 83, which of the following provides scope to develop critical thinking skills? Again, critical thinking skills, let's look at one which is not critical, differentiate market. So this is not a critical thinking skill. So let's cut out C, C, C. So this gives us our answer. So A, B, D, and E, everything else is critical. Let's look at the question. What role did Yamuna play in the layout? So you'll have to think about how Yamuna helped in the layout of Shahjahanabad. What is the purpose of press conference and how does it help you to get information? Is it necessary for civil servants to be politically neutral? So all this requires your critical thinking skill, and availability of water is a major factor discussed. So you're discussing. So that will also be a critical thinking skill. 84, fundamental rights and duties of Indian constitutions are written on the wall of a social science classroom. Okay, this will make children primary learn. They are going to learn through observation. So there's no memorizing, they're not reasoning, they're not imagining it. So they're just going to observe it every day and kind of learn it. Which method would you use to collect information about the actual and correct status of the earthquake victims in your area? So ideally it would be the survey method, although inquiry method also provides actual and correct status. So I'm going to go with survey method. According to Indian Constitution, this kind of reservation is not a violation of the right to equality. So this is to give special treatment to someone in order to ensure equal opportunity. So maybe earlier they were not given equal opportunity, so now you give. It is not nepotism, kith and kin, or only to MLAs. So that will not be. 87 is assertion and reason. Values can be taught too. This is correct. So it's not only caught, it can be taught. And social studies is a subject through which all basic values can be taught. So correct. So A and R both are correct, and R explains A. Which of the following should be considered as a gender neutral atmosphere? So this is not a well made answer, because here they've just made boys do what girls usually would do. So a group of boys volunteering at annual function and group of boys arranging refreshment, and girls as if they are always doing dance competitions and rangoli. So that's not gender neutral. Uh, I would have put both boys and girls doing, that would be more gender neutral. But as per this, B and D will be the correct answer. 89, a social science teacher asked students to make rules for the class. They were then written on a chart paper, and they gave their consent. The chart paper was pasted on the class so that it can be referred to by students. This can be an introductory activity for what? So this will be an introductory activity for democracy. If it was teaching of the constitution, that also would have been a good answer. So the last question, what is the purpose of diagnostic evaluation? So classify learners will not be there. Let's see what has C. Oh, very good. So A and B is the answer. Assessment also will not be there because, well, we are not assessing. So with that, we come to the end of the SST paper. This was paper 2 set K. Thank you for watching the video, and do follow me for your CTET preparation.